Howdy, howdy, y'all. Mob Ross here with another episode of Between Two Wolves. Today, we've got one of our newer members of Team Monumenta, DJ Rook. How are you today, Rook?
Hello, I'm doing great.
Do you have any introductory statements about doing this interview? Where are we right now? What are we doing?
Right now we're in Lime, just because some of the stuff that I'm working on is not accessible to any players right now. And I did work on a part of the newer revamp section of Lime, so I thought we'd chill out here.
Sweet. Do you want to go ahead and get moving? This is a delve. I picked 5 Relentless and 1 Transcendent and 1 Arcanic, just for a little spice.
Oh, okay. For a little spice. Awesome.
And I'm playing Scout, so I'll just kind of support you from behind.
Sure.
So why don't you tell us a little bit of what you do here on the team?
I'm primarily a builder. I have been getting into some more gameplay design work, which I've really been enjoying.
Like what?
I also, I've helped design some items. I do mob design as well. It's kind of nice too, just because building is a creative outlet for me, but it also, like, I can get burnt out just from building all the time. So to do something that isn't, I don't want to say it's not being creative, because you are being creative, but in terms of visual design, when I get burnt out of that, I can just switch to mob design or item design. That's really nice to do as well.
Very nice. And what's your background with both building and design?
I've been playing Minecraft since 2012 on the Xbox, so
Nice.
yeah, that was like one of the first games I ever started really playing. There you go. But yeah, I've always loved building, so I definitely was building the 2012 style when that was when it was 2012, but
As were we all.
oh, absolutely. 2-block high houses and just boxes. But yeah.
The real OGs now.
Exactly.
And when did you start playing Monumenta, and what drew you to the game in the first place?
So I started playing Monumenta, I want to say start of December of 2020, and started December 2020, and actually one of my college friends, Eb, for those who know him, yeah, he was the one who actually invited me to start playing with him. Super fun guy.
That's cool. Do you know how you found it?
He has been part of CTMC for a while. He just kind of, he loves CTM, so he's been playing Monumenta for a long time. So, yeah.
Careful, this is like the hardest room in the dungeon.
Oh, absolutely. I die here every single time.
Same. Glad we're on the same page.
I'm gonna try not to, in terms of recording sake, so I can look really cool, but,
oh yeah, sure. I'll cut that out.
Cool.
So, I got 2 questions from the patrons that are unique to you. Do you want to do those first or at the end?
I'm down to do those first.
Okay, cool. What, if you could be any type of bird, what kind of bird would it be?
I should have expected this question, honestly.
Yes.
So I did name myself after a bird, and I think we'll probably get into that later with one of the other questions. So I'll leave it a little suspenseful for now. Go there. But yeah, so I did name myself after a bird. It is a rook. However, that is not really the bird I want to be. I would say probably the Philippine eagle is an amazing bird.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, okay. So it is one of the oldest eagle species in the world, and it also has one of the biggest wingspans. Its wingspan is like from 6 to 7 feet wide, which is insane. And they also have this really cool, like, it's like almost like, it's like hair. It's super cool, and they'll fluff it up and look all imposing and stuff like that. I could probably send you some pictures, honestly.
Yeah,
if you wanna
I'll throw it
pop
up as an
them
overlay.
Yeah. But they also have just a super cool face, huge beak, really powerful birds, and they're also really rare. There's only about 10 to 20 left in the wild, so they're
Sad.
critically endangered.
What?
It's really sad, yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
Well, yeah, we need more of them, so that's a good choice.
Absolutely,
For the
yeah.
sake of countering extinction. Like,
It's primarily because they're what do you call it? Their territories are so big, they need so much room, but because of the deforestation that's been going on in the Philippines, it's just harder for them to be supported, which makes it really rough for them. But yeah, so I would love to see some more out in the wild, but yeah, that would be the bird I would want to turn into.
Well, so funny enough, the second question was kind of, I think, asking about the other possible interpretation of your name. Are you good at chess?
Everyone thinks I'm good at chess because no one knows what a rook bird is. So, yeah, no, I played chess, if you want to call it that, but nothing, like, seriously. So yes and no.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. I'm sorry to disappoint the chess fans out there, but...
Well, whoever had the instinct about the bird was a little more on the money. Do you have a favorite chess piece? Is the rook your favorite chess piece? If you had to pick one? Careful.
I mean, honestly, the rook piece is pretty good. I can ice out good part of the board, you know? I'm kind of... I'm pretending I know what I'm talking about, but... Yeah, rook piece is a good piece.
Agreed. So, actually, funny enough, you kind of answered. How did you come up with your username? Do you want to get the full story now?
I will love to give the story.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so, fun fact, I came up with it Thanksgiving of 2020. That was because I was starting to want to start streaming, and so I was like, okay, I gotta come up with a cool streamer name. So first I took the first part of my nickname, which for those who don't know is JJ, and wow, got J from that. And then I was originally going to put the in front of it because I was like, I don't know what else to... I gotta add some more spice to it, but I wasn't quite sure what to add.
Sure.
So I added the, and then I was like, okay, I really like birds, so I want to put a bird in there. So I was looking at the corvid family because that's my favorite bird family, and it was like the J Crow sounds kind of like normal, and Raven doesn't really work. So I was like going through all these different ones, and then kind of landed on Rook, and kind of was like, huh, I kind of like it.
Me too.
And then I went with the TinyBoulder, yeah. But then when I was going to make that my Twitch name and stuff, apparently somebody named the TinyBoulder is already has as an account named that, so I had to change it to the. But I kind of like it with the It gives it a little bit of a classical feel, I guess. I don't know what else to call it.
That's, I think, about as good of an answer besides stickers in terms of thoroughness. There's a real story behind that.
I care about meanings of names, so I take a stupidly long time to come up with names.
Good. Did you ever get into Twitch streaming?
I did. I actually didn't. The time I started playing Monumenta was not too long after I first started streaming. I think I started streaming November 2020, and then I pretty much transitioned to only streaming Monumenta content. Once I started playing Monumenta.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, very good. What, I'm gonna change this question a little bit because it requires to lay the ground. What have you made outside of Lime that players can play now?
I've done a lot of POI reworks in Region 1. I've done Lighthouse, Overgrown Cave. I did the amped version of Litterbox.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. I did that. I did... I'm forgetting other POIs. What did I do? Oh, I reworked Infested House. I also worked on Cave of Tears. I didn't do too much to that though. I also worked on Snow Spirit Lobby and helped facilitate that event. I'm trying to think of what else. That's the most I can think of right now. I might be missing something, but
Nice.
Yeah.
So of all that, what is your favorite and least favorite content?
Oh boy. Oh, I forgot the Night Rooster Island, the Rooster Chew quest.
Oh, nice.
Completely. Yeah, that was my first thing I ever worked on for Team Monumenta. Favorite and least favorite. I think Snow Spirit. I'm saying the event in general because I really did have a fun time getting an entire event done within a week with like a team of people, which was really fun.
So who all did you get to work with on that besides, I know Pi, because he mentioned
I worked,
his.
yeah. Yeah, I got Pi, I got Data, I got Noelle and Mimi, I got Walter, I feel so bad if I'm forgetting someone.
It's all good. They can chime in later.
Yeah. Those are the people that yeah. That's pretty much everyone, yeah.
How about least favorite thing that you've worked on?
Least favorite? I'm gonna say something that has a lot of room for improvement is Rooster Island. Because that was like my first major build project, and making my first build project be a giant island was probably not the best thing, because as much as I've like as much as I've loved building and stuff, I still have a lot of room for improvement, and I definitely was not as good of a builder as I am now when I first started.
What's changed? For someone who's been building since 2012, that's a pretty quick time to improve so much.
Because I didn't really...
Careful! Oh wait, you're a warlock. You can't die.
I can't die. Well, maybe I'll die, but we'll see.
They get health back.
Exactly. I didn't really have a space to really improve my building because I would primarily just play survival with my friends, and so I didn't really focus on building as much, even though I really liked doing it.
It makes perfect sense.
And I also realized that, like, the tools that you have access to as a builder definitely help improve your building, at least in terms of efficiency and the scale, because I never worked on large-scale builds before, and I always did terraforming by hand because I didn't have access to world edit and stuff. And so back to the Rooster Island thing, I didn't know many world edit or voxel sniper commands, and so my building definitely suffered because of it, because it was such a large-scale build that needed that, like, smoothing and stuff like that I just didn't know how to do. So.
Makes sense. Would you say that the tools shape even how you think about building, not just what you can make or how quickly you can make it?
I definitely really think so. And like, it's also about scale, right? Because you can do things more efficiently. You can also like do placeholders easier because you can just select an area and say set block to this. But if you don't have access to those commands, then at least for me, it made it harder for me to be interested or feel motivated to use large-scale builds.
Sure.
Because it just would take so long. Because all I could do is the survival tools, or the vanilla tools, which are kind of lacking.
Absolutely. Totally independently of your own work, what is your favorite thing and least favorite thing to play in Monumenta?
Oh boy. Favorite and least favorite. I would probably say that one of my favorite things to do in Monumenta is depths, just because of the replayability and the different how different each run is from the last one.
What's your favorite tree?
Shadow. Not Shadow Visions. The Shadow.
I was thinking of joking about it. If you didn't say it. That's funny.
No.
That's cool. Do you have a
I
group
can't
that you
boost
normally raid with?
Shadow's ego anymore.
True.
This gang.
That's what I expected. I just thought I'd ask.
Yep.
Well, neat. Least favorite.
Least favorite. I'm gonna say yellow because I always get too ambitious because I will be playing Monumenta by myself. And I'll be like, hey, I want to do an R1 dungeon. What's a good dungeon that gives me money and I'm not tired of? And I always think yellow for some reason. But that's always a lie. And so I'll get like the first key, or I'll kill the first mini boss, and then I'll be like, oh, I forgot why I hate doing yellow. It's just because it feels so long, especially as a solo. Like, trying to do it solo, and then thinking of how much of the dungeon I have ahead of me.
Do you feel the same way about pink?
I would say I really like pink. It's just the library section. That's when the wall of tiredness hits me. So, yeah. Maybe if the library wasn't there, I would not feel that. But other than that, pink is great.
Nice. If you were made Queen Rook of Monumenta for like a day or something, or however long, what would you change about the game? With full cooperation.
I would have full existential crisis with given that much power. Ignoring the existential crisis. See, I think I remember I had a funny answer for this. Oh wait, I remembered it. I would make it so that you could just place infinite amount of parrots. And you can just have a parrot swarm. Parrots would fight for you. It's like hunting companion, but parrots. You're just gonna get like a drone strike of parrots. It would be great. It would just become an entire class, maybe.
That's delightful. What are your favorite parrots? I see you've got 2 on, but I can't tell which ones.
Parrots, I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into the Hecot one. But I would say the bee parrot, which I don't actually have, which I'm very upset about.
What do you need for that one?
80 HXP. Hang on one second. Yeah, so favorite parrots from Monumenta would be bee parrot, even though it's 80 HXP, so I don't have it because I'm broke. And then also is it the floor 120 depths parrot? It's whatever the highest level depths parrot is.
120 sounds about right, but I don't know for sure.
It fluctuates. I think we got all the keys.
Well, neat. I'll grab the key as well. Who is your favorite other team member?
I don't think I can say a specific team member because I don't know. But Fizz Gang, definitely.
Fizz Gang.
I love them so much. They're great. Like, yeah. They were some of my first friends in Monumenta, so they are very cool. They're a very cool group of people who I appreciate a lot.
Quite so. Well, we'll take that answer. We're Fizz Gang. All the Fizz Gang devs.
All the Fizz Gang.
Do you have any thoughts about the Deep Dark or any upcoming builds on terms of what you want to use for Monumenta?
I was looking at some of the... See, now I'm gonna butcher it. I don't even remember what it's called. What's the place where the warden is? Oh yeah, Deep Dark.
I don't know what his biome is.
Yeah, I don't know what the biome is.
The update is.
We'll go with Deep Dark, but
sure.
There were a few blocks there that I saw looked kind of cool, like kind of spacey themed. So I don't know if we ever would do a space themed dungeon, but if that ever happened, that would be pretty cool. That would fit the aesthetic, I think.
I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah, I see it now that you say it.
Yeah.
This is why you earn the big bucks. How bad's your caffeine addiction?
I've been able to curb it to 1 cup a day, but
of coffee, tea, Monster.
Coffee. Okay. I'm a broke college student, otherwise I would just be a monster when it comes to drinking coffee. So, yeah.
Very good.
1 cup a day.
You want to tell us what you're studying?
Right now I am a wildlife biology major, but I'm actually switching to computer science.
That's an interesting shift. What prompted that?
It is. I realized I don't like science as much as I thought I did.
But you clearly like ornithology.
Okay,
you were very
here's
passionate
the
about
problem.
the eagle.
My school makes me do 3 bio classes, 2 chem classes, 2 OChem classes, 2 physics classes, and some other science-related classes, and I'm just kind of tired of it. I've kind of always done a ton of science classes, because my high school was very college preparatory.
Oh, nice. Was it like a quote-unquote college prep school?
Yeah.
Nice, me too. I don't think I've ever met anyone. Cool, yeah. You went like Wednesday, Friday?
They invested a lot of time into us being prepped for college.
Nice.
And so I always did a lot of science classes because I thought I was going to go into that and I didn't know what else to do. But I've kind of burnt myself out of science, so then I took a Python class, and I love programming, and it also kind of works well with how my brain works too, I think, so.
Well, you have to specify now, this was Python the language, not Python the animal.
Correct. However, Python the animals are also very cool.
Indeed they are. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Did you say OChem was in there?
Yes.
Oh man, I didn't take it personally, but everyone I know who took OChem, it was like the course that made them reconsider their major.
Yeah, the threat of it looming above my head was too much for me.
Oh. Well, good. Are you having fun with your new studies?
I am. I'm learning C right now, which has been really cool. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What is something you regret about Monumenta? It could be something that you wish you could take back, or something that you haven't yet gotten to do that you'd really like to.
This is a little bit more abstract, I suppose. But on a project that I've been working on very recently, I burnt myself out big time, just in terms of building and stuff like that, and so it's good that I learned it now of how I can get really invested into a project, but then because I get so invested, it can really hurt me in the long term, and so I think telling myself earlier, when I first started deving, like, it's okay to, like, take a break, it's okay to, like, space things out. Not everything you don't have to work on it.
Sorry, I just used it on accident the first time. Please continue.
I guess like I feel an obligation to get as much done as possible. Because I kind of put that pressure on myself, and so that can be unhealthy, and so
sure.
I wish I learned that earlier.
Well, better that you learned it now than in several years.
Exactly.
Nice. And I assume it's a hush-hush project, and that's why you say upcoming?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, no teasers here, maybe.
Just
or maybe
making
not.
sure. When you first started, did you feel overwhelmed or that there was a requirement to be perfect on the team?
I put the pressure on myself to be perfect all of the time, so I definitely came into deving with that mindset of like, I gotta do everything all at once. I gotta prove myself. I gotta do everything possible, and
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of my mindset going into it, but I've lived and learned.
Good. And hopefully we've proven to be more casual.
Yes.
than you might have feared. So I know you said Eb was the big CTM fan. Have you played any aside from this?
I've played... Oh, geez. See, the CTM community is gonna hate me because I'm not gonna remember any of the names besides Divinity's End. But I have played a few with BizGang, which have been very fun. But
nice.
Divinity's
Do any stand
End is
out?
the only one.
Okay, cool. Well.
Yeah. That's the only name I can remember.
Perfectly fine. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Who made that one? Hold on, let me heal up.
I don't know anybody.
No worries. No worries. Looking at the things, looking at the questions. Do you have any cool scars or stories that go along with them?
I have so many cool scars.
Oh dear.
Okay, first I'll do a disclaimer. I said that very enthusiastically because myself in middle school would have been so excited. I would have been like, oh yeah, here are my battle scars, yeah. But yeah, let's see. I have a lot of scars from playing water polo.
Nice.
Just because girls scratch, they kick, it's very aggressive. It's a very aggressive sport, so I have a lot of scars from that. I have a scar on my nose because a girl clawed my eye, and I actually got a black eye from that game. It was a very fun time. But yeah, those are the majority of them. I have a lot of scars from falling out of trees.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know, just real fun ones.
Yeah, no, really, those are the cool kinds of scars you get. Having adventures.
Exactly.
Well, that's the best answer yet. I remember someone else had a story, but most people just go, no, not really.
Yeah.
Very nice. What was your favorite subject in school before college? I know you said science. Was there a particular one, or was it something else?
What was? I think... I think English was one for me because all of my English teachers were really great teachers when it came to English, so I think that just made me love writing sometimes, or they made it at least fun. And I also am an avid reader, so it also just was like, yeah, I can talk about books, I can write about books and give book reports and stuff, so.
Nice. What are some of your favorite books?
We've had a discussion a little bit, but the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson is... I got that book when I was 11 because my mom was like, okay, you need to stop reading like 200-page books, you need to read something thicker. Because I was reading way too many books, and she was like, it's a waste of money for you to be reading these like these just kind of short books for me at that time. So she made me go to the young adult section and pick something out, and Mistborn was the first one that I got.
Good choice.
I reread it probably every month or so. Oh, there you go. just because it's so good, and I got the other books in the series recently.
Like Cosmere or Era 2 of Mistborn?
It was the 2 other books after it.
Like with Wax and Wayne?
Hero of Ages and
yeah,
Well of Ascension. Yeah. But I haven't actually read any of the other ones, which I'm very disappointed about. I'm just broke, so I can't buy anything.
Oh.
But yeah.
I haven't found this yet. Have you seen this before? Patron item material in here?
Wait, what? When was... Oh, was this added recently?
I don't know. I've legitimately never seen it. You can take it if you want.
I'll yoink it.
Maybe Viz will know what to do with it.
Maybe.
Well, fun. Has anything from your schooling, aside from your recent programming experience, shaped your work here?
That is a good question. So, it's nothing that any of my classes have specifically taught me, but it's actually been... I've tried to work on art more, because I stopped doing art for a while because I was getting upset because I wasn't looking like, a really good artist. My art was not great. I traditionally just draw with like a pencil and paper. That's been some of my best work in my opinion, but trying to get into the digital sphere was difficult because I wasn't used to drawing in that medium. But I think something that's helped me was being okay to use references more. That's definitely helped with my building, because before I was like, oh, I have to use like my mind's eye and like come up with the best environment without using references, and I think that really hindered some of my progress as a builder because I felt like I had to do it all by myself, which is not something that I have to do. So using references was a good thing, and then also learning how like terrain works and stuff like that, and how it like slopes and what looks natural, what looks unnatural, and just looking at images from that, I think was good.
Very good. Do you use like real world references typically, or other people's Minecraft builds?
I try not to use Minecraft builds, because I am worried that I'll like subconsciously like take someone's work.
Sure.
But I definitely try to use real world examples. I'm trying to think. There was a specific volcano that I was thinking of when I first was designing the Rooster Island volcano, and it's slipping my mind what the name is, so maybe I'll think of it later. But yeah, so using real world examples was a great way for me to think of builds better.
Nice. What is the most difficult bug or issue you've encountered as a dev so far?
Okay, so when we were when we were working on item rework, I was helping with rewriting lore and stuff like that, and so I had to get used to the new system, which is so much better than the NBTI system that we were using before, because that thing, I could not figure that out for the life of me. It was very difficult to use. But I was having to go through the 56-point trophies, Delph trophies, and rewrite each line of lore because we had to do that manually. And so I think I spent an entire day just doing lore lines for a ton of items for item rework. So even though that's not terribly difficult, it was just very time intensive, and I also, if I made any grammar mistakes, I would have to go back and redo the entire line lore line all over again. So that was a fun time.
Doesn't sound like it, but okay. What is your most embarrassing skill issue moment in Monumenta?
Well, anyone who plays with me immediately knows that I have so many skill issues.
You've been fine so far. We haven't died once.
I'm
only a 7
trying
point,
to.
But
I just had a creeper blow up behind me. I was waiting for myself to die.
they're water beams. They're special. That's totally it.
I think everyone makes fun of me for this because this happened on stream. So I think it's.
Wait, did we already?
I forgot who makes fun of me. Yeah, I hit it.
Oh, good.
On stream, it was horrible. We were playing Depths, and we're at Davy, and it's like floor 2. and I die to Davy on like 1 he's on like 1 HP, and he dies immediately after I did. And this was on stream, so everyone's like, bro, are you kidding me?
That's rough.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny now, but in the moment I was like, well, there goes my content for the day. So.
All right. So, as all dev work is voluntary, what do you use to motivate you to keep doing stuff?
I latch on to things I like a lot, and so if there's something that I really enjoy doing, that's what motivates me to improve in it. And so Monumenta is I'm a big fan of Monumenta. And so
Happy to hear.
That's definitely motivation for me to improve my building and be able to just improve my skills for Monumenta in general. But yeah.
Good. Happy to hear. What's something that you wish the player base would stop doing? It could be just annoying to you or like demotivating on a more serious level.
Oh. That is a loaded question.
It certainly is, but the patrons want to know. This isn't just us complaining, a player has asked. And they're paying us.
Wow.
So, go for it. You can pass if you want.
Maybe we can come back to that later, because I can't really think of an answer right now.
Okay. Well, then we're moving on to the generic questions.
Sure.
Why? You've already said that it is. Why is Monumenta special to you? I guess you kind of hinted at it, but talk more about that.
Yeah. So Monumenta is special to me for a lot of reasons. One, my friend introduced me to it, so kind of had that personal connection. But also, it was the first online gaming community. I guess some people would say gaming in loose quotes, but it was the first online gaming community that I've ever been a part of, and that was a big deal. That was a big deal to me because when I was in high school and middle school, I always loved playing video games, but I didn't have anyone to play it with because I was very much involved with sports and stuff, so the people I hung out with were not at all interested in video games. So to have people who enjoyed a game that I enjoyed and play it and like talk about it, I think was really, really cool. So that's what kept me here.
Oh, that's so sweet. What were some of the games that you loved playing in high school?
Skyrim was a big one. I played it on the Xbox 360.
Awesome.
So that was my favorite game. I also I was a big Nintendo person, so always had a DS on me. And so Pokemon was a big one for me. And then I also played, it's kind of a random one actually, but my dad still had his old original PS1. And
Nice.
so there was one game on there called Ape Escape that I loved to death. My dad always played it when I was growing up, and so I just started playing it, or I played it in high school, and it was still as much fun to play as it was to watch when I was younger. So those are the big ones for me, I think.
Nice. Did you ever play them with your dad or just watch him? I don't know if Ape Escape's 2-player.
Ape Escape is not 2-player, but we would always like have kind of a watch party. So like when I started playing it, I would invite my dad to watch, and it's kind of like the reverse thing because
Sure.
I was like 5 when he was playing it and stuff like that. So kind of was cool to play the game that he always played for me. So
that is cool. What other sports did you play aside from water polo, if any?
Yeah, so I played soccer for 4 years, softball for 4 years. I played water polo from starting in 7th grade and starting in 6th grade through high school. I was also a competitive swimmer.
Very nice. Which of those are you most fond of now?
Water polo. I actually hate swimming because of how repetitive it is, and I hate swimming, but love water polo. But I was good at swimming, so I kind of was forced to also do swim team during water polo.
Very nice. What has surprised you most about making the game?
I think something that surprised me, and that I also haven't recently thought about until now, is like how going into, especially even though this is a Minecraft server and stuff, I think working with a team that is comprised of different parts, and knowing who to talk to about how to communicate with people and set up timelines for projects and such, I think has been good experience for me. At least I haven't been able to get any internships in the CS career field yet, but I think that'll be good in general just for learning how to better work as a team member and with a team. So
the surprising element is...
I don't want to say that it was surprising that real life skills could be learned from this, because I don't know if that's a little mean to say, but it was how many applicable people skills or communication skills and leadership stuff that can be learned.
I completely agree that I was surprised at that, and that is completely true here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just to kind of add to that myself, I was surprised at how professional but chill people were. Just how does a bunch of random people get, a project manager at Intel for a lead? Busty, absolutely.
Right.
How did we run across someone like that? So yeah, it is surprising. What's your fondest memory playing Monumenta?
Fondest memory. I think one of my fondest memories is when I first met BizGang. Rail invited me to one of their private Eldresk sessions, and this was before Eldresk got reworked, because this was early 2021. So this is when Eldresk was super hard, and we were doing mole strats and stuff like that to try and beat them. And so I was terrified because I had not talked to any of them except Shadow, I'm pretty sure, because Shadow would join my Twitch chats and cause a general ruckus, as he does.
Does he? In a rude way, or just... Oh.
No, not in a rude way. He's just a force of nature.
True.
I hope he's okay with me saying that. But yeah, the only
What's he
person
gonna do, stop paying you?
He'll kick me from Viz. I'll be homeless, maybe.
That's even worse.
Yeah, but I had only casually talked to Shadow. I think, and Stealthy was actually the person I talked to the most. Oh, I love this. There we go. But I was still terrified to everyone because I didn't know anyone outside of Shadow and Stealthy. And so I was barely talking, but they were doing Eldrask sessions, and I was dying every single time. And then, you know, Shadow and Zig were killing it or whatever. But then there was one fight that I actually won the Drask for the first time. And so that was super cool because everyone was celebrating, and I felt so cool. And to also have done it when Eldrask was very difficult, I think was something I was also very proud of as well.
Yeah, he was a doozy back then.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What is your fondest memory as a dev?
As a dev? Oh boy. Well, this is a problem because it's for the unspecified project of which I don't want to leak. Oh.
Yeah, one of the swooping creepers got me. That's embarrassing.
I'm getting new stuff. It's all good.
Well,
we can cut it out.
No, that's part of the fun is leaving it in. Although I don't have the shortcut. Wait, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
I can sign test once I get all your stuff.
That would be super convenient.
I'm on 1.5
I can't really help.
I put my damage reduction on.
There you go.
Sir, please, sir. I killed it right after you.
Hooray!
Such a spicy interview. Got a death in there.
Yeah, first time.
Poor
Ever.
Bob Ross.
Yeah,
ever. Should I be proud or should I be sad?
Anyway, fondest memory as a developer.
Fondest memory as a developer.
What were we getting?
I'm going to be as non-specific as possible.
Right.
Wait, I'll say one thing. I am working on a dungeon. That's not really... I don't think that's a shocker to a lot of people, at least in terms of R3 work. But one of the dungeons I've been working on has been really fun to work on, just because it's been my first experience working on a dungeon, because I've just done more small build work, and then also working with a concentrated team on that dungeon I think has been really cool. And so getting involved with people in that and talking about the design for it, I think has been really, really fun. So
I'm glad you've enjoyed those conversations.
Yeah.
Planning it out is a lot of fun.
Yes.
What's your favorite video game? Was it one of the ones you already named?
Favorite video game? Oh boy. So Skyrim, I really like. One of my favorite ones is Doom Eternal, but my laptop will die because it overheats whenever I try to play, so I haven't been able to play it for a while. But Doom Eternal is one that I watched Markiplier play and I was like, that's so cool. And so I got it. And I've been taking my time getting all the collectibles and stuff like that. But
nice. That's
been really, really fun.
Yeah, Markiplier is fun.
Absolutely.
What is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh boy. I'm not sure if I should say a Marvel movie or not, because I'm a big Marvel fan.
Just whatever's the truth. If it's a Marvel movie, great.
Okay. I'm gonna give two answers. Spider-Man No Way Home is one of my favorites. I cry every single time, but it also is just really well. I really enjoyed that movie. My other favorite movie, I don't know if many people have watched it, but Baby Driver, Edgar Wright did such a good job with that. Just the cinematography and the, and then also just Baby Driver, it plays a lot around the theme of music. And so whenever music plays, a lot of the shots are synced to the beats in the song.
Oh, that's neat.
Which is like, it's kind of like the ASMR, but like visual version and like audio version in a way. I don't know how else to describe it.
That's an interesting description.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I would highly recommend. It's rated R though, so I don't know if some people can watch it in the Monumenta community. But when you're of age, and if you are of age, I like Baby Driver a lot, and I would highly recommend it.
Neato. TV show?
TV show. I honestly haven't watched TV in a long time, so I don't have any recent TV show favorites, but, well, I guess, WandaVision was a really good one on Disney Plus. I really enjoyed that show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Musical artist or band? Uh-oh.
I'm gonna get made fun of because everyone in this gang knew this would be the answer, but 21 Pilots is my #1 favorite artist. Fun fact, my Spotify Wrapped, statistics, I listen to 10,000 plus minutes of music on Spotify or something like that, and 75% of that was 21 Pilots.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, that is A-okay. And favorite color, the most important one.
Favorite color, most important, of course. Dark blue or purple.
Ooh. Good choices, very rich. What do you draw from most in, as inspiration for developing or building or whatever?
I definitely, I might be thinking about this too hard, but I like knowing the theme of what I'm going to build, because then that kind of helps me decide what to put in it. And so I'll just use terrain again as an example. For terrain, I want it to look as natural as possible, so I'll look at slopes of hills and stuff like that. And I'll try to emulate that to the best of my ability. And I think I like natural looks, or try to make something look realistic, I might die.
That would be illegal. Get on the right.
I'm immortal. I'm secretly in creative mode. I want things to look as natural as possible, and so I will that's why I take a lot of inspiration from real-world places, and also looking at themes a lot for buildings, because I want to make it look like a downscaled version of something you could do in the real world, to the best of my ability. Sometimes, it won't work out, because I don't think there are completely green buildings in real life, using Lime as an example, but,
True.
you know.
Speaking of which, did we hit all 4?
I think I'll go try it out. If I start...
I'll go with you.
I don't think we got the conduit message. We got the one up top.
Oh, I think we missed the super easy
we missed
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's always the first one I get, but we walked by it. We were too busy.
Yep.
What is something that none of us would think to ask you in the first place? What's a question that you wish we would ask you?
Well, I'm actually a little surprised because whenever I say I like birds, at least for some people, they've been like, oh, so you can fly because you like birds, right? And I also ask about my character because my character technically has wings. But I cannot fly, but I can drive a boat, I could drive a bus, and I also know how to drive stick shift.
Nice. Good life skills. How did those come about? There's a story there.
Yeah, so stick shift, my parents, they got a stick shift and they were like, JJ, you need to learn stick shift. And so I kind of fought against it, but then I started learning it, and then I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. So that's kind of how I learned it. And then for the boat, my family has owned a boat since I've been born. So I've always grown up going to the river and going to the bay, and I've just kind of learned how to drive a boat from that. Yeah, and then I'm also a bus driver for my job. So I've recently learned how to drive the 40-foot buses, which has been really cool.
Cool. Does that require any sort of certification or just training?
You need a Class B license, so I actually just recently took my license exam and passed.
GG.
Yeah.
Do you want to become a pilot someday?
There have been some airplane videos popping up on my YouTube recommended, so I think YouTube's trying to tell me something, but
they're the best source of life advice. So
exactly.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
Do a bit of an aside, because you're clearly pretty close to your parents. Do they know about Monumenta and your work here?
Yeah. They yeah, they know about Monumenta because I do spend a lot of time on Monumenta, for better or for worse. Not that Monumenta's a bad thing, but I think I should take breaks every so often.
Absolutely.
And so they definitely know about it, and they also think it's pretty cool. I actually introduced my sister to it. She was like, they have classes like in D&D, and so she got real psyched about that.
Very cool. How old is she?
She is, don't mess up, 15.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Same here. I just know some people might not broadcast it to their families.
Yeah. Maybe a strange thing to broadcast to families, but...
A little bit.
Maybe. Oh well.
Maybe. Oh well. Do you want to show us... Because what you reworked is yet to come. It's the final section? Or
I reworked the opera house. Or I helped part of the opera house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Is there anything else you want to discuss before we head off?
Nothing I can think of.
Same. Well, thank you so much for the interview, Rook. It was good to get to know you a little better. I think as one of the newer devs, all the others so far have been people I've known for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for talking with me.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank y'all for watching. Patrons, thank you for picking Rook and for asking questions and for playing our game. Bye.
See y'all.